Thanks, Sarah. Welcome to everybody. It's really nice to see lots of new faces. And there's snacks in Fife as well. I can see snacks in Teeling, snacks in Fife. So I'm very jealous. I'm Alison Henderson, Chief Exec at Dundee and Angus Chamber, and really looking forward to what is the middle session of our Christmas Social events this year. Like you, we're having the strangest year ever, and we've tried really hard to make sure that we could do a social event that was, or a series of social events that were less business focused. And so this is the middle child of their Christmas socials. If you were around with us last week, we were making chicken katsu curry, and my new kitchen was like a bomb site, but the food was delicious. And next week, if you're signed up for Malmaison cocktails, then we'll all be on our best behaviour next week. But this week, really looking forward to that sneak peek into the Science Centre and taking part in the quiz and just hearing a little bit about what you guys all do. We'll do a little bit of networking and ask you some questions, and then there'll be the quiz. Now, I must put my apologies in advance because there's 3 rounds in the quiz and I've only got time to stay for the first round. So it would be just as well, because I would be terrible at the quiz and I would end up with a booby prize, and that's no fun for anybody if the organiser wins something. So thank you to you for all turning up. If I don't see you again before Christmas, have a brilliant time. I'm sure I will though, and I'm looking forward to tonight's event. So thank you so much. Now, I'd like to introduce Emily to you. So Emily's marketing and sales at Dundee Science Centre and is going to come on and tell us a bit more about them and what they do. So Emily, over to you.
Thank you. Can you all hear me? Okay, great. So yeah, I work at Dundee Science Centre and we've been shut since March, and we recently reopened in November, which is crazy to think. We've been closed for so long. But since we've been closed, we've had to figure out a new way to deliver our content, and what would be in the centre delivery, we've had to shift to online delivery. So we started a home learning programme for kids who are learning at home whilst the schools were shut, and this gave us new opportunities to reach a wider audience. So we've got international audiences and a lot of our users are from England, so which is interesting to see. And then we've also done collaborations with a lot of organisations within Dundee, especially the University of Dundee. And this gave life to the Science at Home kits, which we've been developing for local communities who might not have access to internet or additional resources to buy baking soda and flour to make a salt dough volcano. So it's been great to help out the community as well, while we've not been able to open. And then since summer, we've been reconstructing our centre downstairs. So you might have seen that our giant head's no longer there. Some people love that, some people really miss it. I don't particularly miss it at all. I think the centre will be more accessible once the redevelopment's finished, and it's just going to be even better. So yeah, that's just a bit about what we've been up to over the 9 months since we've been closed. And I think I'll pass over to Ross.
Thanks, Emily. Can you all hear me okay? Yeah, sorry, it keeps flicking up on my computer. Hi everyone, my name's Ross and I'm the Membership Manager for the Dundee and Angus Chamber of Commerce. Thought it'd be a good idea just to quickly whip round the room, just so we all know who's in the room. If you could say what your name is and what organisation you're from, and we've got a question that we'd like to ask everyone. Our question is, what is the one thing that you've learned throughout 2020 that you're going to bring with you into 2021, whether it be in your personal life or your business life? I'll go around the room just in the order of who appears in the screen, and we will start with Alison.
Drat, so I knew you would start with me and I wouldn't have anything sensible to say. Well, I've introduced myself already, but Alison Henderson from the Chamber of Commerce. What will I take with me from 2020? I think I've been more on time in 2020 than I've ever been in my life, and that's probably because I'm not traveling anywhere. So I think I might take that with me. Just I'm not quite doing so much, traveling so much, but still doing as many meetings as I was getting to before. So let's hope I'm on time next year. That's me.
Thanks, Alison. Donna?
I knew I was coming next. Hi, I'm Donna, I work at the Chamber, and I think what I'll take away is how adaptable we've all been. I know some of us have enjoyed it more than others, and some of us, me, are desperate to get back into the office. But I'm really proud of how adaptable certainly our team have been in working from home. So yeah, just taking that on board and not be scared of different things getting thrown at you when we get around to getting back and seeing one another. So yeah, adaptability is definitely my thing.
Thanks, Donna. Next we have Glenn.
Hello, I'm Glenn from the Chamber. I don't think I could possibly say one thing that I'm going to take. This is all quite new to me. My first proper job, so just everything I'm going to take. You know, I've learnt so much starting, so I can possibly pick a single thing that I'm going to take ahead, but everything.
A really challenging and interesting time to be starting your first year or your first proper job. It's not normally like this, I can assure you. Thanks, Glenn. Grace? Hi, Grace.
Hi. So I'm Grace. I work at the Chambers as a foundation apprenticeship. Yeah. And I guess I've learned a lot as well. Like, this is my proper first job as well. Just learned be flexible, timekeeping, just loads of new things. So.
Fab. Thanks, Grace. Next we've got Lauren. Good afternoon.
Hi, can you see me? I literally have no idea how to work this. Can everyone hear me okay?
Can hear you loud and clear. Oh no, there you are. Hello.
Yeah, here I am. I can't see myself, so we'll just see what happens. But no, for those that don't know me, I'm Lauren. I work for Women's Business Station. This is a really hard question. I feel like I've not had long enough to think what to say. Alison, what you said about the timekeeping, you'll know what I'm like, so I agree with you on that one. Although I've still definitely been late for quite a few Zooms, I have to say. But yeah, I think what you said about that, like anytime I get to go out the house now, I'm absolutely buzzing. So I'm literally running out to meetings. I was an hour early for a meeting yesterday. It's clearly a keen bean these days. But no, I think for me, my lesson is that like we're all kind of now in the house and like on our own. And I think I was so bad at just like never asking for help and just trying to do everything myself. But now, because you are on your own, like I've kind of learned to just like tell people that like I'm sitting here struggling and I really need people to like take some of my workload and help. So I've learned to do that, kind of delegating tasks a bit more, which I'll definitely be taking forward next year. And yeah, I guess just not being like keeping myself secluded and like reaching out when I feel like I need to. I've learned to do that as well. So yeah, I think that's my ones. Yeah.
Fab, Lauren. Thank you. Next we've got Lynn. Hi, Lynn. I think you're still on mute. Oh no. Sarah, can you try and unmute Lynn? No.
Can't unmute from this side.
Ah.
Is that it now?
That's better.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you I don't work in IT. I'm Lynn Hopkins. I'm a solicitor at Thornton's. And Ross, when you posed the question, the first word that came to my mind was resilience. I think that's been a theme this year, and I agree with Donna, adaptability as well. It's amazing how much we've managed to adapt to this year. But I think a common theme amongst some of us, it's amazing how exciting it can be now to actually be going out and seeing people. Simple things that once might have seemed a chore are now actually quite exciting.
Definitely. Thanks, Lynn. Next, we've got Ross Mackenzie. Hi, Ross.
Hi, everyone. I think what I'm going to do is just pass this on to my 10-year-old that's sitting here excitedly waiting for the exciting stuff and seeing what his answer would be. No, but I think seriously, I think everyone's already made some really good points: resilience, adaptability, flexibility, things that I'm going to take away out of this year and into next year. That the virtual environment is not going to be the be all and end all. And I think we all have to remember how we go about doing, or we went about doing businesses pre-COVID-19. So I think what I'm trying to say is I think there's a balance in there. We can take the good stuff out of this, but I think we have to remember some of the really good and important stuff of doing business beforehand. I think also personally, getting a balance and a separation between, a lot of us have been working at home for however long, but getting that balance and separation between when you're doing your work and then your home life and your personal life, and getting that discipline and structure into that, I think is really, really important. Anything you want to add? He's shaking his head.
That's fine. Cheers, Ross. Next, we've got Fiona Gray. Hello.
Hi everyone, I'm Fiona Gray. I'm the Director of Sales at Hotel Indigo and Spaces Suite. Everyone's kind of said what I was going to say, but I definitely think the balance piece, like Alice and I used to run about between meetings and things, so realising that you can do so much more virtually. However, I will admit I am really missing the face-to-face, being in customers' offices, but finding that balance moving forward, I think, is my big take from that.
Thanks, Fiona. Next, we've got Steve. Hi, Steve.
Afternoon, everyone. I'm Steve Smith. I work with an IT company called IT Works, and I'm also the Vice President of the Chamber of Commerce. The lesson I would take into next year would be don't take simple things for granted. I don't think I'd ever have missed the inside of the fun factory in Dundee with the kids, but it's something that I'm gagging for now. So yeah, just getting out and doing simple stuff with other people, and you miss it. So don't take things for granted.
Good point, totally. Thanks, Steve. Next, we've got Vaso. Hi, Vaso.
Hello. Oh, shoot, my camera's off. Let me just try. There we go. So hi, my name is Vasha Magri. I work with the Chamber on Circular Taste side. This year has been, quite strange for all of us. I used to travel quite a lot before the lockdown, and that stopped literally in the span of 3 days back in March. It's been a strange change, but after all, it ended up being quite positive for me. It's much more in line with environmental aspects of the project. Decreasing the amount that we travel has been much more environmentally friendly. And also it's been much more effective time management wise, because a lot of the time that I would travel, I couldn't do admin or any of the other things. So now I think I'm more effective. So one thing that I'm looking forward to taking with me next year is just trying to keep as many meetings as possible from Zoom and from Teams, and only travel when absolutely necessary to do that. So yeah, it's been a mixed bag this year.
Cool, thanks, Vaso.
Mm-hmm.
And Vince, are you there, Vince?
Hello. I'm Vince. I'm part of the Chamber team as well. I think this year, it's probably leveraging the IT solutions or realizing how many IT solutions are available. I'll definitely take that going forward, I think. Very sweet and simple on this.
Cool, Vince. And last but not least, Sarah.
So hoping you were going to forget me, Ross. I made up these questions, but I didn't think about any answers. I actually going with Steve as well on the not taking things for granted. You know, my parents both live very, very locally. However, I've not seen them. One's not very far away, and others in another council region. So not being able to see them just because you could is difficult. And I think also supporting locally. I think when lockdown lifted the first time round, I couldn't wait to get out and go to restaurants more and go to shops more. I think because you could do it the last time, you just did, but maybe didn't. So yeah, certainly supporting local and not taking things for granted. On a work reflection, I guess with Donna, adaptability. You know, we've all had to adapt very, very quickly, and we have. You know, there hasn't really been that I can't do this. You just had to do it. So showing that if you have to do it, you can actually do it. So yeah, that's me.
Cool, thanks very much. Thanks everyone, nice to hear from everyone in the room. So at this point I'll hand back over to Emily and James at the Science Centre, and we can get to the real interesting part now. Thanks very much.
I just want to say quickly before the tour starts that there will be some facts in there that you might want to keep a note of for the quiz.
Particularly our We Are Inventing exhibit. Hello everyone, and welcome to our virtual tour of Dundee Science Centre. So my name is James, and today what we're going to be doing is going around the centre and looking at some of our new exhibits as well, particularly our We Are Inventing exhibit. Now a lot of the centre is still under construction, so we won't be able to see it all today, but you come and visit us in the future when it's all open. I'm sure it'll be great though. Now, here we're standing in our new reception area. So if you've been to the centre before, you might notice that it's a bit different. It looks a lot better in my opinion. Follow us on the tour and hopefully it's pretty fun and you learn something new as well. And here in our new seating area, as you can see, it's looking pretty good. If you have a look up here, you will see our Overman spheres. Now, these do more than just kind of hang there. Over here, my colleague Laura, you'll see that she's spinning this dial here, and it's actually expanding and contracting the Overman sphere. So that's pretty cool. So, I'm here in our We Are Inventing area. Now, this is our brand new area that's all about inventions, construction, engineering, and using your imagination to come up with some pretty cool contraptions. Now, if any of you have been here before, this has actually replaced an exhibit that we had for a long time. A giant head. Some people loved him, some people hated him. I'll let you make up your own mind. But follow me through here. We've got lots of different things for you to try in this area. So here, this is our construction table. We have lots of different bits and pieces that you'll be able to play with here and see what you can come up with. If you come over here, this is pretty entertaining. I'll show you what this does now. So this wall, even though it looks like wood, is actually magnetic, and all of these different gears here, cogs, these actually have magnets in the back of them, so that they can be moved around. Over here, this is all about plumbing. So you might think, what has plumbing got to do with science? Well, it actually involves a lot of science and a lot of engineering. So pretty cool stuff. If you follow me over here, we can have a little look and see what's behind here.
This is a sneak peek of what the back of our centre currently looks like. It's still a work in progress and we'll be continuing construction in these areas to bring our brand new spaces to life. We're really excited to show you what's to come. This is going to be our midnight garden, a dedicated area for our early years. So we'll have this sort of tree house with a slide for the wee ones. We have lots of new and exciting exhibits to try out, including a climate change game and this water exhibit, which has lots of different interactive bits in it. We can't wait to have a go. Be sure to drop by for a visit once our redevelopment is finished and try out all these new exhibits. Another addition is going to be the sensory hub, which has these very, very cool lights. Let's join Laura upstairs to see what's happening in Medical Marvels.
Welcome to Medical Marvels. This is our operating theatre where you can be a surgeon. My colleague James is putting in a pacemaker. So on this screen we have different views of the body. Currently James is in the muscle view. We now have the organs and it's motion sensitive. So whatever you do, the guy on the screen does. Over on this screen, we have the inside view of the organs. When you point to your organ, it will tell you a little bit about each organ of the body.
So I'm here with our MRI slides. Now these are really, really interesting because they give you a look inside the human body. Okay. Now MRI stands for magnetic resonance imaging. It's a technique used by doctors and other health professionals to provide a lovely scan of your insides. A little bit like an X-ray, but here we can see all the different organs inside rather than just the bones. Right, so we're here at our ultrasound table. Now ultrasound is another technique that is used by doctors and other health professionals, another way of seeing inside the body. Now have a look at Laura. She is using ultrasound now to see inside our patient here, and we're looking at the liver and the gallbladder. Okay? Now the gallbladder is a really, really interesting little organ because it stores something called bile. And bile is really, really useful because it helps us digest fatty foods, and it's what makes our poo brown. Ugh. So I'm here at our anatomy table. Now don't worry, you don't have to dissect any real bodies, because thanks to modern technology, we can create a 3D image of a human body that lets us learn everything we need to. So we talked a little bit about MRI scans before. This uses CT scans, which stands for computerized tomography. And these basically create lots of different layers that build up to give us a 3D image of the body. So the anatomy table is really, really cool. You can see lots of different views of the body. So let me choose this one. So we can see the body itself, well, it's just clothed. We can have a look at the muscles in the body. Have a look at the skeleton. There should be about 206 bones there, that's how many the average adult has. And finally, we can have a little look at the gas as well. So if you have a look at this gas here, have a little think about what that might be. Whereabouts is it in the body? What might that be? Have a think about that. Right, so I asked you what the gas was. Let's see if you guessed right. All of this gas here, this is in this individual's intestines. Okay? Now our intestines are filled with bacteria that help break down our food, and as part of that process they produce a lot of smelly gases that have to come out of the body as farts. So all of this is getting ready to leave the body as a big cloud of fart gas. Ugh. So now what we're doing is performing some keyhole surgery. Now I have very kindly volunteered to be our patient. Dr. Laura here is having a go at some keyhole surgery. Now there are lots of different kinds of surgery. Keyhole surgery is really, really cool because it means that the surgeon can get into your body and do what he needs to do using just tiny little incisions rather than one big incision down the middle. Keyhole surgery actually has quite a strong connection to Dundee because it was pioneered here in the 1980s by Dr. Alfred Cuschieri, who still works at the Institute of Medical Science and Technology at Ninemills Hospital. Now over here we have our curiosity wall. Now this is really interesting. Basically what it is, there's lots of different tools from throughout the history of medicine. So we have some fairly old stuff starting kind of here, and as we work our way along it becomes more and more modern. Okay? Now you'll notice that some of the tools are very different from the ones that we used to use in the past, but some of them are pretty much the same, and that's because they're already pretty good at what they do. So have a look at this, see what you think. And I said to him, it's molybdenum, not mendelevium.
Hi there. Remember to enjoy a coffee and a cake in our new Café Create with our lovely booths and our interactive boards.
That was brilliant, Emily and James. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. It's great to kind of see. I know that there's a lot of work going on with the refurb at the Science Centre, so it's brilliant to see it kind of part the way through, and great to kind of hear about what else is coming up. So I'm one of those people that used to take my little boy, who's now nearly 22, along to kind of slide down the nose and climb through the head, and he absolutely loved the head. But I know that all of these kind of new exhibitions and all these different things will just be brilliant and really inspiring to lots of people. So it's fab. And I hope you were all taking lots of notes, because I was taking notes for the quiz. We will get you an opportunity to go away and grab a pen and a bit of paper if you haven't got one already for the quiz. But we're going to do another round the room and do a bit of sharing as well, and answer another question. So we've got another question about collaboration and who you might want to work with. So if you could pick any organisation or person anywhere throughout the whole world to collaborate with on a project, who would you pick to work with, and why would you want to work with them? So I'm going to do this in alphabetical order. So I'm going to pick on Vince first, because he just loves to go first so much. Don't you, Vince?
I always thought I was going to be last on this. Person to collaborate with. See, I'm a big fan of Elon Musk, so I'm obviously going to pick an Elon Musk company. I think NeuroNet, or Neuralink rather, they had a recruitment pitch, and I'd wished I had some skills, or I'd wished I'd changed my vocation in university so that I could work for them. And more because they're on the forefront of new and innovative technologies that the world has never seen before. And even if they fail, at least they try to do something different. So that would be mine.
Love it. Good answer. Vaso.
What is the question?
Who, person or organisation would you like to collaborate with anywhere in the world, and why?
Oh, person or organisation. Oh God, that's a difficult one. Professionally or just?
No, not necessarily.
I mean, I would really like to, in a non-professional manner, I would really like to work with the Harry Potter studios down in London. If they had anything else to, if they had any similar things they wanted to open here in Scotland, if they wanted any ideas, if they wanted to expand in the Greek market, that would be an absolute dream, or any kind of fantasy thing like that. I can't imagine anything professional being as interesting as that, so I'm just going to leave it there.
Brilliant, thank you. Steve Smith.
Hello. I had the pleasure of working for Apple for several years, so I've been pretty close to technological genius at that point, and I'm going to follow on from what Vince said about Elon Musk. I think the guy's mad as a bag of drunk squirrels, but I think he's also got that genius thing going for him as well. So partnering with any of his businesses would be fantastic. And if that weren't possible, there's another company I really admire just now called Magic Leap that do a lot in augmented reality. Worth having a look online at some of their videos of what they can actually achieve with their wearable technology. Just fantastic, and I like the thought of people thinking that far into the future.
Great, that's interesting, isn't it? Yeah, thank you so much, Steve. Ross Mackenzie.
Sorry, stage fright.
All right.
The answer that Rory had come up with was Lego. And I think this comes from a visit to Lego House at the back end of last year, pre-lockdown. And if anyone's been, it's a fantastic example of how kind of engagement and involvement and interpretation of, I think, the way they've charted history and the values and everything else of the company. So I think there were other things in there as well, but I think that will do for the time being.
Yeah, and it's not so that you can spike the bedroom floor with bits of Lego to stand on then, Dad.
No, not at all.
Brilliant, thank you. The other Ross Barty.
I tried to ask Olivia who hers would be, and hers is her best friend Ellie from school. So.
Oh, that's sweet.
That's so cute.
That's really cute.
Oh.
I'm not really too sure who mine would be actually. Probably because I work in sales. The Wolf of Wall Street. He always looks like he's having a blast when he's working in sales. So yeah, that'd probably be me.
Thanks, Ross. Lindsay Christie.
You could have messed me out. I don't know, because my interests are slightly strange compared to most people. I would like to work with like a taxidermist or something, or yeah, just something really quite weird. I used to do pest control, so all things to do with, or like somebody that does like really dirty house cleaning or something. That would probably be my answer. Blair said Roblox.
Fab, thank you. Lynn?
On a personal level, I would love to go and work with a tour company like Trailfinders or Exodus just to go and find new routes. But I think you can tell I'm desperate to get away. I've missed having a holiday. So on a personal level, I'd like to join up with Trailfinders and be an explorer for them. On a professional level, probably quite close to home, be more involved with Alzheimer's societies or age concern. I'm actually taking part in a study for Alzheimer's because they're starting to look at people in middle age to see if they can identify it sooner. So I have spent 2.5 hours in an MRI scanner being asked questions and doing quizzes and puzzles. I think they were checking to see if there was actually anything working up there. But so personally, I'd love to work for Trailfinders, and professionally to help organisations such as Age Concern and Alzheimer's.
Great, thank you, Lynn, so much. That's fab. Lauren McGurk.
Okay, so another hard question. I think maybe from like a business perspective, someone like Chris van der Kyle, just purely for like the digital sort of aspect and kind of turning more what we do digital and virtual and things like that. Or like if we're taking it really far-fetched, maybe like Michelle Obama or something, or Karen Brady from The Apprentice is someone who I think looks so scary, but imagine what she could teach you. Like that would be so cool. On a more of a personal level, maybe someone like Jeff Ellis, like the founder of Tea in the Park, because that's kind of like if I could do any other career in the world, like running like events like Tea in the Park and Glastonbury and stuff like that would be like a dream. So yeah, maybe someone like that. And that's my options.
Great. Fab, thanks, Lauren. Grace.
It's quite hard to think of this one, but probably Bill Gates. Yeah, I think I quite like everything he's done, and yeah, quite inspirational person. So
Fab, thank you, Grace. Glenn, what about you?
Yeah, that is quite a hard question, eh? I think Duncan Bannatyne would be a right laugh to work with. I'd be looking for a mentor, so I think he'd be a great person to learn from of how he's built his empire. But after seeing him on I'm a Celeb and things like that, he seems like a nice guy. So either him or Graham Carling, I think, the property tycoon that bought McGill and things like that. He's a wee bit more closer to home, and I think he'd be a great person to chat to, and he could teach you a thing or two. Yeah, that's mine.
Brilliant. Great, thank you so much. Fiona?
Hi, on a personal level, Disney, and like, on a professional level, Richard Branson, just to build an empire that he's got, and obviously it's tied to what I do and sales aspect. I think they would be my two choices.
Great, thanks, Fiona. Donna?
Well, in hindsight, I wish I had collaborated with the people that did Zoom, but going forward, on a personal note, I would love to collaborate with Michael Bublé and sing a song with him. I'd also like to learn to dance with Giovanni on Strictly Come Dancing, and but on a business moment, I'd just like to work with anybody that can get the people back into the city centre. To regenerate the city centre, to get people to be, you know, have a cafe culture, you know, a nighttime culture in the centre. I'd love to be involved in how we do that and find someone who's inspiring to get people to walk around and use their local area. So yeah, if anybody's got ideas, I'm game, I'm up for it. Just count on me.
Brilliant, Donna, I love that. I'm going to pass back to Emily and James at the Science Centre, but I think I would echo what you guys were saying about, you know, some of these big, massive brands. I know people that have been and trained with Disney, and their leadership training sounds amazing. But I think if I could collaborate with anybody, because we're doing this Dubai work, I think we would collaborate with Emirates, and we would fly all our business delegates business class to Dubai, and then, you know, get them to sponsor everything. So that would be pretty cool. So Emily and James, what would you say to the question about collaboration before you kind of go on to our quiz?
Well, I actually said Michelle Obama, like Lauren. But if I was picking another one, maybe like the Russo brothers, just because I really like Marvel films. They're quite good.
Probably one of the big pharma companies, because although they're not the most ethically sound organisations, I mean they are necessary and they do a lot of good, and there's a lot of potential there as well.
Brilliant. Okay. So I think that's kind of gone round the room. I don't think I've missed anybody. So over to you guys to do our round one of the quiz.
Thank you.
Excellent. Can everyone see that?
Yes.
Good. So, I am James. I like to think I run Dundee Science Centre, but I feel like Emily would not agree with that. Yeah, so this is as has already been mentioned, it's going to be 3 rounds. So the first round is all about the human body and medicine. The second round is about famous scientists. So that's a picture round where you need to identify who the scientist is. And the third and final round is all about space, the final frontier. Okay? So, without any further ado, let us begin. Has everyone got pen and paper to write down their answers? Because you're going to need it. Let me see. Right.
Round 1, medical marvels. Okay. I'm pretty impressed with the slide design here. I must say I've outdone myself. I really have. So, question 1. How many bones does the average adult have in their body? Is it A, 150, B, 206, C, 270, or D, 1,462? Take a few minutes to get your answer down. Okay. Question 2. What does MRI stand for? Is it A, magnetic resistance imaging, B, metallic resonance imaging, C, magnetic resonance imaging, or D, monsters riding iguanas? All right, very good. Question 3. What part of the body are the phalanges? Are they A, fingers and toes, B, arms and legs, C, liver and kidneys, or D, eyes and ears? And for Friends fans, there's Regina Phalange herself. Good. Okie doke. Question 4. What intestine is the arrow pointing to? So is it A, the small intestine, B, the large intestine, C, the long intestine, or D, the lumpy intestine? Very good. Question 5. Which of these is not a type of tooth that humans have? Is it A, the canines, B, the carnassials, C, the incisors, or D, the molars? And now this next picture that's coming up is one of the best things I've ever seen. Look at just look at it and enjoy it.
That's very disturbing.
No, but wouldn't it would just be so much better if they had teeth like that? I mean, that's just it's just
I don't
wonderful.
know. Then you would have to put braces. There would be of issues there.
I'm a shark dentist. I mean, there's maybe a market there. There's maybe a market there. Right. Question 6. How many chambers does the human heart have? A, 4, B, 5, C, 6, or D, 72? Okay. Question 7. Where in the body is the talus? Is it in the skull, in the leg, in the foot, or in the bum? Very good. Question 8. What does REM stand for? Is it A, rapid eye movement, B, random eye movement, C, repetitive eye movement, or D, ridiculously evil mongoose? I mean, just look at that. You know it's plotting. It's plotting something. Okay. Question 9. What is the function of the kidneys? Do they A, make pee, B, make poo, C, make blood, or D, they are delicious beans that are found in Chile? Yeah. It is. I'm quite pleased with myself. Yeah. Question 10. Final question of round 1. What is the largest muscle in the body? Is it A, the biceps brachii, B, the pectoralis major, C, the gluteus maximus, or D, the brainius bigius? Excellent. Right. So we're going to go on to the answers for round 1. So be honest, no cheating. Because we'll know. We'll find out. So here's your answers for round 1. So for question 1, the answer is B. The average human adult has 206 bones, but this isn't a hard and fast number. Some people have extra bones, extra ribs, for example, are quite common. So there is a little bit of variation. For number 2, the answer was C, magnetic resonance imaging, which you should have picked up if you watched the tour thoroughly, because, you know, I gave that little definition there. 3 was fingers and toes. Those are the phalanges. For question 4, it was the large intestine. So even though the arrow that it was pointing to, the intestine is shorter, it goes more on kind of girth and width, so it's wider, and that's why it's called the large intestine, whereas the small intestine is thinner, but much longer. For question 5, it was the carnassial teeth. So humans don't have carnassial teeth. These tend to be found in things like tigers that eat a lot of meat that need to kind of shear things apart. Question 6, the answer was A, 4 chambers. So 2 atria, 2 ventricles in the human heart. Question 7 was the foot. Yes, so they tell us it's actually a bone in the foot. Question 8 was rapid eye movement, answer A. So that's the period of sleep when you are most likely to kind of remember quite vivid dreams. For question 9, the kidneys are involved in water filtration, so they make pee. Yeah. And for question 10, the largest muscles in the body are the gluteus maximus muscles, which extend all the way down from our backsides, down our femurs, our thighs. So yeah, work out how well you did. I think we're going to have a break now, aren't we? Yeah, excellent. So calculate your answers, calculate your scores, see how well you've done. And yeah, we'll pass you back over to
me.
Excellent.
Okay, before we go for a short break, what I'll get people to do, there is a prize up for grabs. I'm afraid it's not applicable to the chamber team. But for those of you who are not part of the chamber team, you can win a ticket to either one of our Connect 4 events next year or one of our Leading Ladies sessions next year. So no cheating, no Googling. We have got some technology going on in the background that knows if you're Googling, so you will get caught out. If you want to, we'll just quickly go around the room and just let me know what your scores are. I've got a very, yeah, bit of paper and a pen writing down everybody's scores. Okay, so Alison, I think.
Yeah, I'm leaving while I'm ahead. 7 out of 10. Yeehaw!
7, well done. Donna?
I got 8 out of 10.
Well done. Fiona? 7, well done. Glenn? 5, 7. Don't make me count, Glenn, come on. Grace?
7.
7, well done. Lauren?
7.
7. Sounds like Strictly Come Dancing, doesn't it?
I know.
Lynn?
7.
Well, lots of 7s. Lindsay?
9.
Ooh. What one did you get wrong?
The one about the talus. I knew it wasn't the bum, but I put skull or head or whatever it was. So
I only knew that because I've got a friend who damaged it the other month. Only knew that.
I thought it was like tailbone.
Yeah,
Bum.
that's
why I put
Trick question.
It's a trick question.
Yeah.
Ross B. Ross Barty.
Say it again.
7 out of 10.
Well done. Ross Mackenzie and Rory.
9 out of 10.
Oh, well done, you guys. Oh, Lindsay, you've got some competition there. Steve.
9 as well.
Oh, more competition. Basso.
I got 9.
Oh, good lord. And Vince.
8.
8. Well done. Okay, if you want to go away, grab a cup of tea, grab a beer, glass of wine, whatever it is you're drinking, and come back for around about past. Then we've got 2 more rounds to go, and we'll do the same again. Okay, we'll see you all in a minute. I think everybody is back in the room. James, if you just want to get going with round 2.
Excellent, we will do. Just get my assistant here to help me.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I think so. Can you all see that? Is that round 1 answers?
Yeah, that's round 1 answers on the
screen. Excellent. Good, good, good. So now that you've all had a bit of time to get a little bit refreshed, we're going to go on to round 2, which is a picture round. Okay, so you're going to see 10 pictures. Each one is of a famous scientist. You need to guess who that scientist is. Okay, and I'm going to give you a little hint as well on the screen. So yeah, let's see how you get on. Pencils at the ready. Okie doke. Number 1, who is this dapper gentleman? Here's a little hint. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Yes. So have a think about that. Okay. Here is our second member of the Rogues Gallery. Who is this man? And here's your hint for him. This selection just came naturally. Yeah. And these hints, I wrote them all myself. That's why they're all so good. Okay, scientist number 3. Here we go. Doesn't she look positively radiant? Good. Okay, time for number 4. Now, I don't know about you, but I just love strawberry laces. I actually do like strawberry laces. Okay, doke. Number 5. It's all relative. Number 6. Science is in her DNA. Okie doke. Number 7. She has a spectrum of talents from acting to inventing. Number 8. It is true, from far away, the Earth does look like a pale blue dot. Good. Number 9. When I watch the stars, I like to kneel in the grass. Yes. Yeah. And now the final scientist of this round. And here's your hint. Life finds a way.
Is that actor name or character name?
We'll go character name since he's playing a scientist, yeah. But I'll accept that as well.
Oh, lovely.
Excellent. Right, so let's move on to the round 2 answers. Let's see how many you've got. Hopefully my hints helped you out a little bit. I mean, yeah, we'll see. Okie doke. So the number 1 was none other than Isaac Newton. So you've probably heard the kind of story of the apple falling out of the tree, and that's apparently what inspired him to start thinking about gravity. Number 2 was Charles Darwin, famous, of course, for his publication on the origin of species, or evolution by natural selection. Number 3 was Marie Curie, discoverer of radium. Number 4 was Ada Lovelace, an early computer pioneer. Number 5 was, of course, Albert Einstein, probably the most famous scientist ever. Number 6 was Rosalind Franklin, whose work on X-ray crystallography helped elucidate the structure of DNA. Number 7 was Hedy Lamarr, an actress and inventor whose spectrum technologies they were kind of necessary for our kind of modern technology such as Wi-Fi and things like that. So yeah. Number 8 was none other than Carl Sagan, astronomer. Number 9, this was my favourite hint, Neil deGrasse. It's because his name is, of course, Neil deGrasse Tyson. Yes, another astronomer.
My favourite
Excellent.
too.
It was Emily's favourite as well. Yes, good. And number 10 was, of course, not a real scientist, unfortunately. It was Dr. Ian Malcolm from Jurassic Park, famous for just moaning about how everything's going to collapse around everyone else, and unfortunately being yeah. So, very good. Let's see. Do you want to move on to round 3 now, or do you want to get the scores for round 2 first?
Let's go around the room and get the scores and see what everybody is.
Sounds good.
I only got a measly 1, but it was 1 out of 1 because I only wrote 1 down. So
I mean, good effort.
That was so difficult. Half of them were on the tip of my tongue.
Who did you get? Was it Einstein?
Huh?
Was it Einstein that you got?
Yeah, how did you guess?
Most famous, yeah.
Yeah, blimey. Very, very good. Okay, let's go from alphabetically in reverse. Vince.
5.
Well done. Basil.
Sorry, muted. I got 4.
4, well done. Steve.
Either 6 or 7, depending if I get a point for Jeff Goldblum or not.
Yeah, give him the point.
7.
I'm feeling generous.
Ross Barty. Ross B. Oh.
1.
1. Well done. Same as me. High five. Lindsay.
3.
Lynn.
6 if I'm getting a point for Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah.
Oh, well done. Lauren.
3.
Well done.
Thanks.
Grace. Sorry, Grace.
5.
I should be ashamed of myself with my measly 1. Glenn.
You're on mute.
5. But if everyone else is getting the James Gold, I'm giving myself 6.
You're giving yourself 6. Yep, everybody else is getting the actor. Fiona. I think I missed that, Fiona. What was your score?
3.
3. Well done, Donna.
Well, I got 5 because I got Jeff, and I would have had 6 if I could have remembered Hedy Lamarr's name, but
you didn't.
5.
I would have all got more if we'd remember their names.
No, but I knew it was just, it was in there somewhere, but it wouldn't come out.
I would have had 10 if I remembered all their names, Donna.
I was nearly headbutting the screen when Marie Curie's name was shouted out.
Okay, fantastic. James, do you want to go with round 3, the third and final round?
Yes. So let's get this on the go. Right, can we all see this?
Yep,
Yes.
that's round 2 answers.
Excellent. So, round 3, the final round, is about space, the final frontier. Space. Good. So, thank you. So, question 1. How many planets are there in the solar system? Are there A, 7, B, 8, C, 9, or D, 4,927? And I think. Okey-doke. Question 2. The largest planet in the solar system? Is it A, Jupiter, B, Saturn, C, Uranus, or Uranus, depending on how you want to pronounce it, or D, Gallifrey? Right. Question 3. True or false? The names of Mars moons translate to fear and panic. There's the screen for you, just to emphasize what panic is. Okay. Question 4. What is the hottest planet in the solar system? Is it A, Mercury, B, Venus, C, Mars, or D, Vulcan? Good. Question 5. What was the name of the first dog in space? Was it A, Marcel, B, Aurora, C, Laika, or D, Lassie? Okay. Question 6. What year was the International Space Station launched? Was it 1969, 1988, 1998, or 2002? Okay. Question 7. How many people have walked on the moon? Is it A, 10, B, 12, C, 15, or, get your tinfoil hats out, guys, none? Ooh. Okay. Question 8. There were 3 men who were part of the Apollo 11 mission to the moon. Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin are the most famous ones, there's 2 of them. But who was the 3rd astronaut? Was it A, Michael Collins, John Collins, C, David Collins, or D, James T. Kirk? Question 9. What constellation is shown in the picture? Is it A, Ursa Major, B, Orion, C, Draco, or D, Brian? And the final question of the final round. What planet was destroyed by the Death Star? Was it A, Dantooine, B, Yavin, C, Alderaan, or D, Tatooine? And just to jog your memory, here's the Death Star super laser firing. Science.
Well.
Okay. Right, let's have round 3 answers. So, question 1, the answer was B, 8. So for a long time, we kind of just said that there were 9 planets in the solar system. Then of course, Pluto got downgraded. Pluto got demoted to a dwarf planet. So as of making the quiz, there are still 8 planets in the solar system. So I'm assuming another one hasn't been discovered since then. No, I imagine. Excellent. For number 2, the largest planet in the solar system is Jupiter. 5th planet, gas giant. 3, it's true, Mars moons names do translate to fear and panic, Phobos and Deimos. Question 4, the answer is B, Venus. So even though Mercury is the closest planet to the Sun, Venus has a really strong greenhouse effect. So it actually makes the surface of the planet much hotter. So it's actually the hottest planet, not Mercury. For question 5, the answer was C, it was Laika. She was a Russian dog who was sent into space. For question 6, The International Space Station was launched in 1998, so it celebrated its 20th birthday in 2018. For question 7, there have been 12 astronauts that walked on the moon. Yeah, and unless you're feeling kind of conspiratorial, then there were none, and it's all a Hollywood backlot. For question 8, the answer was Mike Collins. Yeah, so he didn't actually walk on the moon in the first mission, and he stayed behind in the capsule. It was Buzz and Neil who walked on the moon. For question 9, it is the Draco constellation, not the Brian constellation, although I would very much enjoy it if constellations were named Brian and John and Samantha. That would be good, yes. And for the final question, the answer was Alderaan. Yes. See, Leia tried to get them to go to Dantooine, but you know, they just weren't falling for it, were they? They just weren't falling for it.
Oh, of course, I remember now.
Yeah, yeah. We will deal with your rebel friends soon enough. Yeah, yeah. Excellent. So, let me see. I'll come up for this now and we can do the scores.
Thank you very much. I just decided to make a pretty pattern with all the letters and did not too bad getting 5. I was pretty impressed.
Well done.
Maybe I should just try that next time and just, yeah, go with pretty patterns. Okay, let's go around the room alphabetically again, starting at the top. So Donna.
You know what, I was dreading this and I was so glad there was a Star Wars question at the end because I thought, yes, I'm going to get 1 right. I actually got 5.
Oh. Fiona.
5 as well.
5 as well. Glenn.
6.
Well done. Grace.
5.
Oh, lots of 5s. Lauren.
5.
No. It's the theme going on here. Lynn.
I'm away to break the theme. 4. I'll be getting a science book from Santa.
Lindsay.
I'm also not a space geek. I only got 3.
Ross.
3.
Well done. Steve.
5, including 3 serious guesses.
Vaso.
I also just go 4.
4. And Vince.
6.
6. Well done. So, scores on the doors by my calculations. Let me just quickly tally them up.
Disappointed, Vince. I thought you'd get more.
It's cheated on the first one. With it Pluto.
Okay, so we'll do it the proper way, and we'll go in last place.
Harsh.
So
No, 3, no.
No, there's not many of us.
Well, surely it's Alison in 7, is it not?
Yes, well, it's Alison on 7.
She was last, brilliant.
And then it's Ross Mackenzie on 9. Ross and Rory on 9. And then we've got Ross and his daughter on 11. And then I'm on 14. And I'm going to forget who I've rolled out. And then we've got Fiona and Lauren next. Oh, Fiona, Lauren and Lindsay next with 15.
Mm-hmm.
If my calculations are incorrect, please shout out. We then have both Grace and Vaso next with 17. Well done, ladies. We then have Donna with 18. Glenn and Vince with 19.
Mm-hmm.
And then Steve with 21. Is that all right for everybody else's calculations? Yes. Well done, Steve. Thank you very much.
Well done, Steve.
I'll put my chamber hat on and give who's next in the list to get the prize. It's not me.
So
I'm hardly a leading lady, am I?
No. Leading ladies are not just for females, though.
Fair point.
Grace, Lynn. So it's Lynn. Well done, Lynn. I will drop you an email. There's no voucher or code or anything you need to redeem. It's just a get in touch next year when you want to put yourself on. So yes. That's it, to be honest. Well done everybody for the quizzes. Well done the kids as well. Great to get the kids involved. And I hope all of you, plus Glenn, you're 18 now, you're not a child. I hope everybody really enjoyed the tour of the Science Centre. It's nice to see. My kids are a little bit older now, so I must admit we've not been in. We have been to the operating theatre upstairs. I think it was a year or so ago. So it's nice. It's nice to see the progression of the Science Centre, and certainly all the investment that's going in there as well. So yeah, looking forward to next year when you're back operating as normal as you can be. But yeah, thanks very much Emily and James for everything you've done, putting that video together and the quiz as well. It was excellent. Really enjoyable. As Alison said, next week we're doing cocktails with Malmaison. So if you've not got yourself booked on, then jump onto the website and get yourself booked on. Dale and his mixologist will be talking us through 4 cocktails, the art of cocktail making, and also what household equipment you can use if you don't have like a measure or a cocktail shaker. So you don't need to panic about going and buying everything from the shops. There are other items from the house that you can use to do these things. So get yourselves booked on. If you want to pass it around your colleagues, get a few of you on. We'll be sending out the ingredients list on Friday. But anybody who kind of signs up next week will get that ingredients list off, so you can decide which cocktails you want to make. You've got a choice of 4, or you can make all 4. Just make sure you've not got any 9 AM calls the next day. That's the only thing. So yeah, that's it from us, to be honest. Thanks so much for joining us. Again, thanks very much to the Science Centre for everything you guys have done. And yep, if you don't manage to join us next year, then next week, then have a wonderful Christmas and New Year, and we will see you all in 2021.
Can I just say quickly?
Yeah, of course.
If at any point you're thinking 2020 is getting me down, just think of that shark picture with the teeth, and it will cheer you right up. Honestly, when I saw that, it was just amazing. Fantastic. But yeah, thanks a lot, guys.
Thank
you.
you.
Everyone.
Lovely.
Cheers.
Thanks very much. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Emily.
Bye.